It's an awesome day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors across the world. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that has been following us on our YouTube channel, Property Matters. And I want to say a big thank you to those who are subscribing and to those who will still subscribe. Before I go into today's analysis, I want to quickly appeal to some of our viewers. You've seen several videos on this channel, to pick several lessons from Property Matters. Please do well to subscribe. Help us reach more people by subscribing. Like our video and make sure you drop a comment at the end. By doing this, when you like, when you subscribe, when you share, um, YouTube recommends our video to other people. And you know that we have one aim. And our aim basically with Property Matter is to ensure that you don't lose a dime to any form of real estate investment in Lagos, Nigeria. Over time, we've talked about real estate development, we've talked about real estate documentation, we've talked about how you can identify a manipulative real estate developers, we talked about the concept of development. We talked about how you can build a profitable portfolio in real estate. We talked about the important red flags that you should look out for. We've talked about different manipulations and other important things that will help you understand, analyze, and know how this industry works. So after seeing this particular educative guide, do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and you can also, at your leisure time, check all the topics we've done so far on property matters. By so doing, number one, you'll be familiarizing yourself with the way the Nigerian real estate market works. Number two, you'll be fully aware of the risk and the opportunities. And number three, you'll be able to make a comprehensive and, of course, a well-informed decision whenever you want to do a real estate investment. Thank you in anticipation as you're going to subscribe to this channel. And of course, I'll see you immediately after this short break. Stay tuned. All right, it's a beautiful day. I'm super delighted to be on your screen. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that has been following us on Property Matters. And I also want to quickly, cite this notice that please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that when I drop a video, a very important personality like you will be the very first one to see. So today I'm going to be talking about another exciting topic. This topic is actually in continuation to what we have done in time past. And today I'm going to be talking about why there will be more demolitions in Lagos. Why we are still going to, the ones we have seen at Festa Phase 2, the one we have seen at IKOTA, the ones that we have seen in other parts of Lagos, the Abijo, the Ajao Estate, those ones are just comparing to what will be coming. And the Minister of Environment, the Commissioner of Environment, in the person of Mr. Tokumbo Wahab, dropped an important information on his Twitter. And of course, I'll be reading that. Of course, it will be displayed on your screen. Now, the information goes thus. It says, after the inspection tour of System 156 and then 157 channel yesterday, we have issued a 7-day contravention notice to owners of buildings lying within the 7 meters of drainage setback on Orchid Road, Agungi, Ajinran, Conservative Road, Osapa, Oral Estate 2, and all along the IKOTA River. He also went further to say we cannot keep lampooning the government for flooding while when developers, builders, residents are the main cause of flooding. We shall continue to enforce because that is why laws are made. Without the law and all that, there cannot be development. Enough is enough. This is bad behavior. We have also visited Chevron Drive, okay, and we have where a stop work order has been issued to Gravitas companies, owners of Greatview Island and Pocket Island. And this obviously was a notice that was received a few days ago, and I feel that we should, check um, we should talk more about this before it happens so that it will not get to a point that a lot of people will start reading different meaning. Now, the very first thing I want to quickly, I'll be showing us a short video of an interview that the same Commissioner of Environment, that's in the person of Mr. Tokumbo Wahab, had with some newscaster. So this video credits to Arise News, Arise TV for this short clip. It's going to be very short, but it's insightful. The video talks more. This was an interview that was had with him, and whenever we have issues of demolitions, over time we have seen that people have decided to give demolitions, news and activities like this their own personal interpretation. Now, there are some people who have expressed this news or who have conveyed this news from the tribal sentiments, and there are people who have also conveyed this news, okay, from the political sentiment. A lot of people have read a whole lot of meaning to these demolitions, and the reason why we come online basically to share more light is for us to see that it is very important to know that we have a lot of bloggers online. We have a lot of people that they make money when they share content. So in most cases, these people will want to do everything to to generate traffic to their website. So in the process of doing that, they will want to compromise the standard, and some of the informations that they may be disseminating to viewers and of course important people like you may not be objective. There may be some subjective analysis, and if we don't come online to explain why all these things are happening, you may not want to understand it, and they will be giving you a wrong impression of what is going on. Of course, we all have been aware of the Lekki flooding. We have seen the diverse effects, and after some important due diligence and of course research carried out, we find out that most of the causes of those flooding are man-made, and this was what was addressed by Mr. Tokumo Wahab, the present Commissioner of the Environment. So I'll be back immediately after this short video clip, and then I'll be rounding off this section.
The channel, whose responsibility is it to make sure that those buildings are not erected anywhere close to the canal in that fashion?
Interestingly, that should be the responsibility of Fiscal Planning Ministry.
Yes.
However, what we found out is most of them have a way of flying approvals. What do I mean by saying that? I want to build an estate. This is a landmass, maybe 10 or maybe 10 plots. Then I'll come for approval for 1 or 2. Then I'll use that to extend my building construction. What happened at IKOTA is so unfortunate. There was a conversation pre-COVID. And if you go back to the video you showed, the conversation showed how green the area was. They had the conversation, then COVID happened. Government, everybody had to scamper for safety. So between COVID and 4 weeks ago, there were notices served on them. You can't do this. But by the time we got there, 12 houses petitioned the governor that we are getting flooded on a daily basis. 12 villages rather, 12 that were relocated from Morocco, Gede and others. We got there, all the civil service structure, and we asked ourselves, how could people do this? How did we get to this point? These were their notices. But the typical bad behavior and brazen attitude of, I can do it, nobody can question me, and I can always get away with it.
Are you saying there were no approvals?
If there were approvals, Ojunika, you will have seen that on social media.
There were no approvals
if
for
there were
those
approvals, we started demolition. We paused for about 9 days. We paused to review and see the part of the canal. And I'll tell you what we're doing. There's also a human face to this exercise. When we started, what we did was those that blocked outrightly, that closed the canal from 8 to 1 meter, we said, let us open this canal up. So in the course of doing that, this is what I'm talking about. So these houses, we had to remove them to create the path and the setback for the canal. It was unfortunate, but you have to do what is right. So upon doing, as a people, taxpayers are deploying funds to be used by government. Let us do the right thing without caring whose ox will be God.
I just want some clarity here.
Yes. Just committee
Are you saying all of those demolition that was conducted about 2 weeks ago in Lekki, IKOTA, those buildings had no approvals? Is that what you're saying?
Janika, if they have approvals, let them bring it forward.
Okay, so
I'll also tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Have I been threatened? Oh, yes. There's a building here, one orange building, owned by a serving local government chairman. And it was marked way before I became a commissioner.
Is he an APC member?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It was marked. However, being a sitting chairman, he chose to tell them to divert the drainage. And if you slide back on that video, there is a young man that was wearing a Manchester United jersey. Never met him before. He came to Alausa, never met me a day before. And I saw him. Why are you looking for? I was walking out late. He said, he wants to meet me. What was the issue? That they marked his house. But 3 years before, pre-COVID, his house was not on drainage paths. What could have changed? So don't worry yourself. We'll come there. Each houses on this map, we'll see it together, we'll decide there and there. And we went there. We found out the young man was right. The other chairman...
The house was marked in error.
No, it was marked because they diverted the canal.
Oh.
The chairman's house actually was on the canal. And the Lord took his course. And he had gone threatening hell, fire. But it's okay.
When we speak
it will calm down.
Yeah. I mean,
All right, you're welcome back. I'm super delighted to be back here. Now, from the interview you have seen, basically, he made us understand that there's a ministry, which is the town planning ministry in Lagos State, that is supposed to be overseeing a lot of building activities. And the job of the town planning basically is to ensure that people don't build in the wrong places. Now, in addition to what he has said, I'm not trying to speak for him, neither I'm trying to defend what Lagos State government is doing. You know, this is actually a crucial time where a whole lot of things is happening across the country, and we know that a lot of people are in a difficult economic situation right now. People are trying to cut their costs. But one thing I want real estate investors to understand basically is that this is just, when I was talking about the other demolitions that happened a few weeks ago, I remember I said basically that for every places across Lagos, I don't know of other states or other places. One thing I can tell real estate investors basically is that there is a master plan for everywhere in Lagos. There is a master plan. So when you are buying properties or when you are doing a building project, you need to understand this master plan. And it was talking about a lot of people are building and they don't have building plan or building approval. And they said it in the interview that for places that they build and they have approval, that they should bring it, that if they can defend it, then of course their building will be exempted. Because the reason why this is happening basically is that I'm going to be giving an objective analysis. The very first thing basically is that in the Lekki Lagos real estate industry, as the reason basically when we're having a series of demolition is based on the fact that the Lekki real estate market is a fast market. Fast market in the sense that whenever you want to build, now because of the fact that real estate developers are always in the rush of selling properties, recouping what they've made on the sales of that property, and diverting that money to another project. Now, in the process of trying to sell properties, in the process of trying to make profits, most of them ignore the basic due diligence that they need to do. So you need to understand the way the market works. Now, when I was introduced into the luxury market, okay, and some developers called for my attention that come and help us get investors for this our project, and reluctantly I accepted. Now, I'm this kind of person that before I make recommendations to people, you understand, if I don't have my proof and my due diligence, I don't sell. Now, it has happened several times that in the course of doing my due diligence, it may sometimes take days, sometimes it takes sometimes weeks, depending on the activities that is happening in Alausa. In the process of doing due diligence, I'll just hear the property has been sold out. So the market is very fast. So in most cases, for some of us that have bought properties on the island, your agent will tell you you have between now and tomorrow to make payment, else it will be sold out. They will tell you have this and this. So that is how fast the market is. Now, because of the fast pace that the Lagos State or the Lekki luxury market is, it doesn't afford people the actual time to do the necessary due diligence for them to ascertain the status of that building, or even for them to even check if that building has an approval. In most cases, I've said it before, I'm not going to go deeper into that. Most people on the Lekki Highland build without having the necessary approval before in fact, I've seen instances whereby people have started building, okay? And in the process of building, they start pursuing the approval. Now, the reason why many people, this obviously is not a justification, okay, for building very close to the canal or building where they ought not to build. But this obviously is the reason why some developers go into places like this. Now, in most cases, the cost of buying a landed property on the highland is on the high side. You'll be hearing 400 square meter, 500 square meter, 80 million, 90 million. So in places where developers or Omonile offers them land that is cheaper, they obviously will want to go for it. Okay, so it's not everybody that can afford to buy property 150 million, 300 million, and they want to be in that business of what? Selling property. So what majority of them do is that they go for the cheapest. Now, in the process of going for the cheapest, they fall into buying properties that are very close to canal. Now, like I said in my past video, I said these demolition exercises that Lagos State government is doing is in phases. What they are facing at the moment are properties that are very close to the canal. This demolition is in phases. What they are facing presently are property close to the canal. Another phase will come where they will have to face properties that are built on a pipeline. There are several structures, several buildings that are built on a pipeline. There are several buildings that are built on committed lands. There are several buildings that are built very close to the road. There are several buildings that are built very close to where we'll be having bridges and flyovers. What is going on right now in Orchid, Lagos, presently right now, demolition of properties are properties that are built on where there is supposed to be a supposed flyover, and this flyover is supposed to be an alternative road to the popular Lekki Expressway that usually be a one-way entrance to the island. Now, what has happened in Orchid at the moment basically is that a whole lot of structures have been marked for demolitions, and that road is going to go all the way from Orchid down to Aja to other places, and it will be an alternative road. So buildings that will be going down in Orchid is not because of canal. This is because these people built on the road. Now, the way the market works basically is that the Lekki or the luxury market is a fast-paced market. In the process when you are still making an inquiry, trying to verify who owns the property, trying to verify the documents, the property is sold out. So that means that there are people who are buying properties ignorantly without doing the search. So by the time they are done with canal, they will go to the one facing the road. They've even started in Orchid. They will go to ones that are built on pipeline. They will go to the ones built in places where there are other projects coming in. So by the time we are going to have this series of demolitions, nobody should come online saying they're attacking the Igbos, they're attacking. Of course, from the interview, you notice that there's a present local government chairman whose house will be demolished as well. So this is not tribal thing. This is a direct negligence of some real estate developers who have intentionally altered the master plan that government have. So it doesn't matter how long you have built, okay? It doesn't matter how long you have stayed in that industry, in that axis. Once your project is contravening environmental meanings, it goes down. So this is why real estate investor, more important those in the diaspora or those in Nigeria, that you need to work with people. So don't be casual that it will be sold out in less than. Do your necessary fact check. Do your proper due diligence. And what is happening present, the one we all are talking about is the one that happened in Festac recently, the one present ongoing in Orchid, and the one that is coming from that same IKOTA to Ajiro, to Lekki Conservative Center, and to other parts of the island. It's going to be very, very massive. It's going to be very, very sad because a lot of structures will go down. A lot of structures. Now, as a real estate investor, what can you do? Now, a lot of people are saying, since Lagos State is building, is demolishing structure, I think it's better for me to go to my village and let me build. I know nobody will break my house. Now, the thing is, if you build in your village, will you get the good return on investment if you have in cities like Lagos? Will you have the return on investment, or let's say, will your property in the village have the same resale value? So when we talk about property investment, you want to look at the place where the market is. where the population is, where the infrastructure is, where these are some of the things you put into consideration whenever you want to go into any form of real estate investment. And this is why real estate investor needs to understand. I'm still going to say it again, I've said it before. Real estate investor needs to understand why a proper due diligence must be done. You don't necessarily have to come through me, okay? Of course, if you want to come through me, it will be an added advantage because we have intensified our process of due diligence. Now, what is happening basically is that the reason why some of these structures will be demolished, the reason why some of these buildings will be going down, okay, is because of the fact that there were no proper due diligence. People did not do the environmental check before erecting structures. People did not seek government approval before building. People did not do a lot of things. Now, let me quickly tell you that there are real estate companies in the LEKKI, in Ekpe, and other places that are still going against this environmental. So if the face of property demolition now gets to that place, do not blame government. So it is very important that when you are buying properties, you have to do the right thing. And most times, I've said it before, that I would rather buy property through someone that will take me the pain of not facing demolition in the future. Now, what we are seeing at the moment is the one that is happening in LEKKI, is happening at IKOTA. It will get to a point that places like LEKKI and Ekpe will be the next. Remember I said at the comment of the video that enforcing environmental laws is being done in phases. Today is LEKKI, we don't know where it will be next. So as a real estate investor, if you are buying properties, it is very important that you buy it right, you do it right, so that when government strikes, you won't have any reason to worry. Now, should we stop investing because Lagos State is demolishing buildings? No. What should be your priority, your target is you doing it right from the onset, from the process of purchase. It doesn't matter whether it's a land that you want to use for land banking. You can still do it right. There are still some of us real estate consultants that will still cherish your safety of your investment. I've been to several places where I've seen some real estate developer compromise standard. So I will not say because of the fact that I'm closer to them, I know this person, or I want to be sentimental. The moment I've seen that you have compromised standard, you are off. I would not ever have any kind of dealing with you. Now, this is what experience will do for you. So what is happening in LEKKI right now are the basic negligence that will lead to loss of property worth billions of naira. So as a real estate investor, whether you have bought before, you're about buying, go through the right source. Perhaps us. I've told you, we have intensified our process of due diligence. We've added more team to our surveyor, and we have a lot of things we put into consideration, a lot of verification we do before we say make that deposit. So this is why you need to intensify. So this obviously is not to discourage you from investing in Lagos. This is just a pointer on the reason, on the need for you to do your investment rightly. This is the need. So if you have a consultant like us, who I don't work with price increase alert. If it will take me 3 weeks for me to conclude my verification, you hold that money until that verification is done. Okay, I'm not always in that eager. If it will take me 2 weeks for me to verify that what that person said is on that land, and of course, and the set of real estate developers I'm working with over time are developers that we have a memorandum of understanding that they are doing title, regardless whether the property is at the Jebo, you will do title, because we don't want to take anything. We don't want to leave anything to chance. So this is where I'm going to go to today's cutting of property matters on why there will be more demolitions. That was why I had to play you the video so you can understand, so that you can please do well to share this video, subscribe, and of course, if you want to do a safe, secured, and profitable real estate investment, we are the best hand that can help you, and of course, guarantee the safety of your investment. Until I come your way again in the next episode, thank you, God bless you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.